Well, you are presently trying to make a demonstration, but I have read that in ancient Greece, certain magnets could really do it.
Magnesia, indeed, the goddess of magnets, from the word magnesium. They used to go into what is at present called Macedonia to look for magnet ferret, which had magnetic powers. The word magnet comes from the word magnesia.
Oh, I see. And after that, there was Galen. From which period does it come?
Galen dates back to the antiquity, actually, when they were using magnets to cure gastric troubles such as constipation.
What were they using, magnets?
Yes, magnets, natural ones, of course. But now we don't use natural magnets anymore because they're too weak. There is actually a natural magnet we all know, and in fact we live on it. It's the globe, but it's too weak for us. So we use artificial magnets which can stimulate, dope, and thus create extremely powerful magnetic fields, 5,000 or 6,000 times stronger than the Earth.
Let's conclude the historical part. The one who perhaps brought to light electromagnetic therapy was someone called Mesmer, isn't it?
Yeah, Dr. Mesmer. He trained at Vienna School and, knowing actually little about it, used it at his free will in a rather fantasist way. Yet he cured many people, amongst them Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. And he actually opened a cabinet on Place Vendôme and cured a lot of people.
Well, that was a bit at random.
Absolutely at random. In fact, with 2 iron rods that people would touch. He would cure people one after the other. He actually had hypnotic powers more than magnetic powers. Then people started to say that amorous meetings were being held at his place. He might have felt some revolution, I guess, in the air, as he chose to leave it all behind.
Well, I see why.
He was among, really, one of the most famous.
Well, during the years 1940 to 1945, that's not too far back, Russians were already using magnetotherapy. They were trying to ease pain of what is known as ghost limbs, a suffering endured by people who have lost a leg or an arm or a limb. I have even heard that they tried to make the limb grow again through magnetotherapy.
That's very true, absolutely, indeed. What they were trying to do was ease the suffering linked to ghost limbs, but actually they didn't have machines powerful enough. At this period, magnets really weren't strong enough compared with the magnets that we use nowadays. You know.
I've read even that a salamander whose tail has been cut off, if submit to strong magnetic waves, can see its tail grow again.
This is really speculation, because any reptile, actually, whose tail gets cut will just grow another one. Many kids know very well that if they grab a lizard and cut its tail off, the animal's able to develop another, but of course much shorter.
Well, yeah, sometimes it's hard to sort out between what is scientific and what is some kind of fantasy with kids.
Absolutely.
So in nature, are we more or less receptive to magnetic fields?
We are indeed more or less receptive. And now we know there are receptors in the brain which are more or less sensitive to those fields. Everyone possesses different sensitive receptors, such as light photoreceptors. And as you know, light is a photo-electromagnetic energy.
Well, is it these very receptors that make us more or less sensitive to the weather, to a storm or thunder brewing? Is that it? I have also read that women tended to be more sensitive than men.
Well, it's indeed often the case that women are endowed with more receptors. As far as the light or magnetic waves are concerned, especially when a storm is brewing up, just brewing up.
Well, animals seem to be very receptive to those magnetic fields. The migration of some sea mammals could also be linked to these fields, huh? What do you think?
That's it. Actually, mammals, birds, and even butterflies, bees too, etc. Many animals, in fact, are extremely receptive to electromagnetic waves.
The two places where the Earth is most polarized is the North and South Pole, isn't it?
That's true. However, these two poles haven't always been where they are at present. During this geological era, they have moved. In fact, they've come closer to the equator right now.
On a magnetic level, you mean?
Absolutely. They were even reversed. They turn at a given speed. It depends really on the nuclear at the center of the Earth, which turns at such or such a speed. Even now, they've shifted away from the center by about 15 degrees. We know our satellites watch them closely and measure them. So we live in an electromagnetic world. It's all about waves.
Oh, well, what I think we should do now is see how this all works during a consultation with you.